Hey y'all, this is Jeremiah from Spider Grills. You are watching the Black Smoke Barbecue Podcast.
Welcome to Black Smoke Barbecue. We are a collaborative group that focuses on different aspects of barbecue from pitmasters from all across North America. Barbecue is a culture, and we discuss topics, ideas, and the methods of it on the Black Smoke Barbecue Podcast. Our mission is to spotlight those lesser-known content creators in backyard barbecue, catering, food truck operations, as well as the African-American experience in modern-day barbecue. Sit back, relax, listen, and enjoy the show.
Hey, welcome back to the Black Smoke Barbecue Podcast, where barbecue is not only the code we live by, it's the culture we embody. We've got a great show for you today. We've got our man Jeremiah Stricklin from Spider Grills. I'm sure you guys have been seeing all the buzz around Spider Grills these days, but we got Jeremiah's going to be coming up here in a minute. But hey, let me get you guys introduced to the rest of the crew that's on the pod today. We got Charlie in the house. Charlie, how you doing, brother?
Man, I am blessed and highly favored to be here. I made it through the eclipse. They didn't take me. I'm so happy to be here to talk about this grill, man. How you doing, brother?
Man, I'm good. You know, when we had our brother Felix on the show a couple of weeks ago, he was talking about them aliens coming down here with the whole eclipse and looking for vegetables, but I didn't see any. So,
hey, guess what? I heard on the radio that downtown Atlanta, they had rooftop parties waiting for, I don't know, whatever, but I'm guessing they never saw Independence Day because it didn't work out well for them. I don't know.
Hey, man, I said the same thing. I know I might be a little off base, but hey, you remember when people was on that skyscraper at Independence? Yeah, man, I said the same thing, but luckily nothing happened. It just got dark. It did get darker than I thought it would, but you know, hey, it was all good. Really cool to see. Absolutely. But hey, also on the pod today, we got our brother Brandon BKC Cooks in his luxurious Maine. How you doing there, BKC Brandon?
Y'all soak it all in, baby. There's plenty for everybody. Man, look, I'm fantastic, brother. Glad to be here with y'all, man. And yes, the eclipse was beautiful. You and I, brother, were in the path of totality, and I got to tell you, that's one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. It was kind of crazy.
It was a sight. We were a little unlucky because we had a lot of, overcast or whatever, but it would peek through in little pockets here and there. And I said, well, it's still going to get dark, so we'll see. I didn't expect it to get that dark though. And it literally did get pretty dark.
It was nighttime. Man, street lights came on, people's porch lights came on. And we were fortunate that when that thing did go to totality, it was like the skies opened up and all that overcast just blew away and we just had a beautiful view. So yeah, I was happy about that.
Yeah, it was definitely pretty cool. Hey, also on the pod today, we got our brother T-Dubs Barbecue. What you doing, T? How you doing, brother?
Man, I'm doing all right. I survived that eclipse as well. I actually forgot about it. Went to the mailbox and I was like, why is it getting dark out here? Over here, we only got like 80%, but still it was enough. And I was like, there's no cloud. So is a storm going? And I was like, oh, the eclipse. Okay. And I just went back inside because we had the totality in 2017. And after you experience that, it's like 80% is just like, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
this is the first time I've ever been in the path of totality. We had the one that came through, I guess, what was it, October or whatever it was. It kind of dimmed down. I was at work actually and peeking through the window and, all that. And the street light or the parking lot light came on out there, but it wasn't really dark like this. This was nighttime. Nighttime at 1:35 in the afternoon. So definitely it was pretty weird, but it was really cool to see. So glad we got to see it. Guess if you missed it, you got to wait till 2044 now. So, hey, it's all good. But hey, also on the pod, we got our fearless leader. We got Geoff from Outdoors with Geoff. What's going on, Geoff?
What is going on, man? We didn't catch any totality in Virginia. It just looked like a cloud. So I thought it was going to rain, and but it's all good, man. I'll wait and see what 2044 brings.
Yeah, there you go. So again, I know you just mentioned it, but you over there on the East Coast in the VA right now. So what kind of cooking you been doing over there?
Man, I'm missing my pits at the house, man. So I'm relegated to to the crock pot in the oven right now. It's so
It's like a prison sentence, man.
Yeah, man.
exactly, man. I'm sitting up here going through withdrawals, wanting some post oak, man. So yeah.
Hey, but you got that liquid smoke in tow, right?
Oh Lord, man. Don't even go there. Do not even go there, man. It ain't the same. It ain't the same.
Hey, it's all good. It's all good.
Smoked paprika can only do so much.
Hey, you know, when I ran out, I actually just got a bottle of it today, so I'm back in business, baby.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But hey, so you guys are now knowing who's all on the pod. Well, now we got to bring in our special guest, you know, and this guy, man, I've been rocking with Jeremiah now for a while. I've been fortunate enough to use one of the previous models of the Venom, and now we've got the Huntsman. And so this has been the release week, and we are very happy and very fortunate to get Jeremiah Stricklin from Spider Grills on the pod. Jeremiah, welcome, brother. How you doing?
It feels so good to be here. You guys feel like family at this point. We've already talked about Independence Day. We have our brand new metal band, Path of Totality, that we're already working on. It's all coming together right here up top, man. This is amazing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, man, I know it's been an exciting time for you. You know, I watched what you did with the Venom, you know, and how that thing took off. And thank you again, brother. You reached out to me, you know, when you were rolling out the Venom, and it was just such bad timing with all of the stuff that I had going on and trying to get through all of that.
Man.
Hey,
you look
man,
great,
we're making it. I appreciate that. I appreciate it. But no, man, here we are. You know, Spider Grills has come out with their very own. You're not having to work with any other kettle, you know, no other grill from any other manufacturer. This is your own, and I know it's an exciting time for you. So, man, what has it been like over the last, you know, however long of coming with the concept of the Huntsman to bringing it to where it is now? What's that been like for you?
Man, it feels a lot like you got the prettiest girl at prom, and you feel like you can ask her, and then you finally get the courage, and she says yes, and she kisses you on the cheek in front of the entire school. That's exactly what the past week and a half has felt like. Because
Pretty good.
Yeah, good deal.
I actually skipped my senior prom to see Stevie Wonder in New Orleans, so I don't really know the feeling as much as I should know. But I'm picturing a glorious prom could have been moment because, you know, we talked a little bit about this before the podcast started. When we had accessories, it almost felt like people were like, yeah, maybe you're a company, maybe you're not. But when you have a grill, you are a for real company. Like it is now, it feels like we're a part of the conversation in a way that we weren't necessarily before. And it's not because, you know, people didn't like what we had to offer. People didn't like what we were doing because, I mean, people, if you have a Spider, you are enjoying your Spider, whether that's the Spider 22, whether that's the Spider Venom. But whenever you have your namesake on your own grill, it is a completely different animal. And I think for us, you know, everyone thinks I am the only person at Spider Grills because I'm the one that has the camera on my face all the time. But there's an entire team of dudes way more intelligent than me that are cooking up all kinds of stuff that I have the easiest job in the world. I just cook and that's it. So my degree is in music. Like I went to school to be a musician and I met these guys and they were like, we have all these grills. Can you make videos of them? And I was like, I can't cook. And we were like, we think that would be hilarious. That was literally like, so if you watch our early videos on the Spider 22, I am literally in every video. I say, I have no idea what I'm doing. And I meant every word of it. And now we have the Huntsman, and it feels like I've been doing it now enough to realize the weight of what we're doing and just how dope this grill is. Because before the Spider 22, I had no idea what any of this stuff was. And that's how I learned how to grill. So when we got the Venom and now that we're at the Huntsman, I feel like it could take on any grill. Like I feel like, because now I've cooked on everything because my job is cooking on everything. And I feel like the Huntsman is as good as any grill that's ever been.
Absolutely. Tell you what, before I toss it over to Charlie, because I know Charlie is chomping at the bit to jump in here with a question for you. I want to just throw this to you right quick. For those of the people out there that's been hiding under a rock somewhere that don't know about spider grills, they don't understand what are we talking about when we're talking about the Venom. What is the Spider 22? What is that? What is the Huntsman? Give everybody just a brief overview of what these grills are. And second part of that question for you, I know Huntsman, the whole spider name and Huntsman. I want to know, how did you come up with Huntsman? Why did you select Huntsman and not some other name? So you go ahead and play with that.
That's great. So let me go back to the beginning. So my boss, the CEO of Spider Grills, is a guy named Joseph Pruitt. He is probably the most intelligent man I know personally, and he is my desert island can get me out of a jam guy. So he creates all these amazing grills and accessories and all these wild things that I didn't know could exist. And he had this idea for what he called the Spider 22, which is the most popular grill on the planet is a Weber 22-inch kettle. Most people that have one aren't even really sure how they got it. It just like comes with the house, I guess. So he thought there's a whole market of what if we turned all of these into pellet grills? Like with just this attachment, he'd never seen it before. He thought, what if we did this? And so he created the Spider 22, and that was the first product. And that's how he was like, hey, I need somebody to help me build a company. And he literally, like, I was working at a co-working space at the time. He scooped me up, and then pandemic happened and my whole life became about a pellet grill. So then after that, we found some success with that. And he had this idea for, there are a lot of really great Weber accessories, but so many of them do the cardinal sin of you have to drill into your Weber kettle. And his whole thing was everything that we do with the Weber kettle needs to leave the Weber kettle totally unharmed. So he created what we call the Venom, which is it's a fan-powered controller that converts your Weber kettle into a smart grill. So there's a fan inside of it. It blocks off the heat on the bottom vents of your kettle. So that way you can use the fan to take all the control of your cooks. You can literally fly to Zimbabwe and monitor your pork butt from the airplane. Like, it is not that you should ever do that, and we don't recommend it, but it's just nice to say that you could. So that is the Venom kind of elevated our company to a place we had not experienced before. And when we had the Venom, we realized that this is actually what our company is. Like, the Spider 22 is great, but the Venom, the customers told us, hey, this is special. Like, what you're doing now is really unique, because there are other products that do very similar things, but they don't do quite what the Venom does. And the most important thing is you don't have to drill holes in your grill. So you still got your grill. And then it came time to our heart-to-heart conversation of who are we as a company? What do we want to do? And we basically wanted to create an indestructible grill that could do everything, and it was powered by the Venom, which is something that our company has just become entwined with. And we named it. So I guess to tell you why we named it the Huntsman, because I didn't name it. Why we named it the Huntsman, you should also know why we're called Spider Grills. And it's because the early idea of our company was that it hangs off the Weber kettle. So
I love it.
I gotta be honest.
Okay. I see what y'all did there.
I worked at the company for 2.5 years before I knew that. So it felt really,
I like that.
It felt really good to embrace that, because designing the logo for Spider Grills, we realized how people don't really like bugs around their food. So it was really hard to find a logo that we all agreed with. But when it came down to the Huntsman, we thought, what is a cool spider that it's really hard to not want to be like Peter Parker, like everything is just like Spider and Venom and all these other things. But we're building what we think is a family of grills, and you got to start somewhere. And when you look at this grill, you think this mighty powerful thing, and the Huntsman just fit that namesake. Like, it felt like heroic, the Huntsman. In the promo video, I hit it with a sledgehammer. And if there was Thor in a Marvel movie, that was his shot. That's the shot he should have done whenever he came on screen. And I gotta be honest, I know I'm not jacked, but I hit it as hard as I could. And I'm telling you, man, it is a powerful grill, and the Huntsman just fit.
Nice. I like that.
So can you explain the transition from making the attachment or the accessory, sorry, the accessory for the Weber kettle and just deciding as a company to take a chance on your first grill?
Yeah, of course. I think it was inevitable because, you know, we made the joke like when you're in college and you and your friends are like, dude, we should buy a bar. And then you buy a bar and you're like, no, I think we just really like drinking. But like we love grilling. And it was inevitable for us to find a grill that we believed in. And we have, I got made fun of a lot in the videos, and I get made fun of a lot almost as my profession on the internet. Like I cannot get over the way grill community is on the internet. It helps that I look this way and people are like, he looks like a skinny vegan. But I've had to delete that comment so many times on our YouTube channel. But in the videos, I will have other grills. I'll have Kamado Joe's, I'll have Big Green Eggs, I'll have Rectex behind me. And it's because we love every grill. So we looked at all these grills and we were like, what still isn't here? And I think that for us, we want to make grilling fun. I think there's this weird culture in grilling where it's like there's a right way to do it. You're not a man if you use pellets. There's all this weird stuff that like I didn't realize until I joined the community. And we thought, like, what if we like ignored all those people that are like gatekeeping what fun grilling is and just focus on grilling is fun. And that's why every dude you've ever met is obsessed with it. So we wanted to make a grill that was fun from the moment you get it. And then all these accessories that we have, and I can't talk about any of them on this podcast. But yeah, I know. I promise
We're
we're
hoping
working on
for
it.
an exclusive.
Oh, I know. Yes, if I give you an exclusive, there will be a new person on camera at Spider Grills. So
Oh no, we don't want to do that. No.
okay. So I think for us, it was when we thought about a grill, we thought like, how can we feel like the first time we were grilling? Like for me, it was like with my dad, it was on a Weber kettle. All the food was burnt. Dinner was ruined. We got Domino's pizza, but it was really fun. You know what I mean? And I think every time we want you to use the Huntsman, we want that feeling because there's a big swinging draft door at the front. There's these big, beautiful grates that can sear steak in a way that no other grill can do it. And it's like with all the accessories we have coming out, it's like, oh, this is fun. Like this is what grilling was made for, is just having fun.
Good deal. Jeremiah, this is Geoff from Outdoors with Geoff with a question for you. You guys, you hit it on the head when you said you went hardcore with this thing. You hit it with a sledgehammer, and I said that thing is a tank.
Yep.
And you talked about the grate, and that's one of the first things I noticed. You guys really went hardcore and heavy duty on this thing. Can you give us a little more on that as far as for folks that are looking for that forever grill, that thing where they're not going to have to replace it after a couple of years? I mean, you guys really went hardcore on this thing.
Yeah, so I'll be totally honest. I tried to climb inside of the grill to show you that if there was ever a zombie apocalypse, this would be the safest bet for you to hide in. I'm not nearly as flexible as I thought I would be to make the video that I needed to make. There's some great outtake footage that may see the internet at some point. But I think, I don't know enough about the way every other company runs, but I know that there are so many incentives to make a grill less durable. And there are so many incentives for a company to make more money by spending less money making the product. If there's a way to get by, there are benefits to that. And we are just not interested in making something that we don't want to hit with sledgehammers. I think for us, it's like, yeah, I mean, we could sell it for this much more money, or we could just make something awesome. I think for us, it's like, what does building a legacy look like? And I think if we're building the grill that we want in our yard, this is the grill that we want in our yard. So, and it's really funny that you bring up the spiderweb grapes. That is absolutely my favorite feature of the Huntsman. And it was literally, we're all on a Zoom call because I live in Nashville. One of our guys lives in Texas. Our company is located in Athens, Georgia. And literally our guy in Texas was like, LOL, wouldn't it be cool if they were web grates? And we were all like, yeah. And that was the business meeting. And it is awesome. It is legitimately just like a bunch of dudes being like, dude, what if we like whatever? And it just, sometimes it's a home run. And that's what the web grates were. Because when you open the grill, your eyes like, whoa, what in the world? And like the walls of the grill are 5 millimeters thick. and it's not something that you're just going to let go to waste. It is built to last forever. My great grandson is going to have this grill, and with his AI boss and his, like it's going to last forever.
Love it.
This is T from TW BBQ, and I was wondering about that draft door in the front. Like, what was the idea of putting that there? Because that's something that sometimes you kind of lack when you're trying to refuel. With other grills, you have to pull up the grates and move this and move that. But where did you all come up with that idea to put that there?
T, I really appreciate that question. I want to tell you it's because we thought that there was like a lack of draft doors in the business. We thought that, but really it's almost the equivalent of having like a big fancy belt buckle, and you show up to the dance and you just tuck your shirt in so everybody can look at your belt buckle.
Right.
Like, I mean, it is 100% like we wanted something flashy. We wanted something that would catch your eye, but also there's so much utility in it because for me, I am very scatterbrained. We've been on this podcast like 10 minutes and y'all can feel every bit of that as I'm talking, but I forget adding wood chips and I'll have the pork butt on and I'll be like, son of a gun.
Yeah.
I'm about to have to take this whole thing off. I got everything right where I wanted it. So it's nice to have that to sneak it in. And some people have been like, oh, it looks like there's some cool accessories you could do with like pizza or something. And those people aren't wrong. But T, I can't talk about it right now. So there is a ton of really cool stuff that like that when you get your Huntsman, you're going to see all these places where you're like, I don't understand what this is for. And that's probably for a reason. Like there are like every part of the Huntsman was well thought out, but there were, I'm not going to lie to you, there were moments where we thought like, what if we just like showed out, like what if we just like made this beautiful big door at the front, And that's kind of, it is very user friendly and I love it. I use it every time I cook, but I'd be lying if I said that's not why we put it there in the first place.
Well, it definitely caught my attention.
We did it for you, T.
That's
why we
pretty
did it.
awesome. That is awesome.
I love it. Jeremiah, this is Brandon from BKC Cooks. So the Huntsman is a big departure from the Weber kettle. And seeing that that's kind of what you guys built your name on and what everything you guys were doing before was really to attach to a Weber kettle. What was the inspiration for the design? Because I'm calling it a kettle motto because it's
ooh, that's a great name. You should have been at the meeting, man.
Yeah, man.
It's not quite a kettle, it's not quite a Kamado. And I guess in theory it can operate similar to a Weber kettle, but I think it's altogether different. Where did the departure come in?
I think to call it a departure, I think you would have to acknowledge that like maybe you're leaving Weber behind because to a lot of people we are the company that blesses up the Weber, and we have every intention of staying to be that company. And again, I'm not trying to get fired by saying too much on a podcast, but I promise that we still love Weber with every part of us, and we have every intention of making everybody that has a Weber love their Weber even more. But for our first kettle, I think there are parts of every kettle that are really, really special. And there are parts of every grill that I wish was a little bit different. I think anybody that has ever cracked a Kamado, like a ceramic grill, would love to have a grill that could withstand a sledgehammer. And, I know everybody that has put a pork butt on and forgot to put their wood chunks on it, they would love to have a door. I think for us, it's literally like, whenever you had like an action figure when you were a kid and you like wanted to have wings on it or whatever, like imagine you get to design your own toy. And that's what my boss did. He was like, I want to design my own toy. And it was inspired a lot by Weber kettles. It was inspired a lot by kettle drums or like by drum grills because, we love offsets. And that's why like there is a powder coat on the outside, but the inside of it is double seasoned and unpainted, much like a drum grill or whatever, like an offset. Mm-hmm. And I think it's just like, if you're making something that is inspired by all your favorite grills, what would it look like? And for us, that's what the Huntsman is. This is literally all the hits, you know, like if we're making a greatest hits album of all our favorite grills, it's the Huntsman.
Nice.
So what I noticed is you really like sledgehammers.
Oh my gosh, dude. If you knew, I've been begging. Well, actually that was my second idea. So, unfortunately, I can't believe I'm about to tell this story on this podcast.
Oh, please do. Yes,
okay.
let's have it.
Here we
So,
have to.
the day we got the Huntsman, Joseph, if you're listening to this, I'm sorry that I'm doing our company this dirty, but I shot all the product photos for it. So we got a photographer out, we shot the photos, everything looked great. We were really excited. And I had to clean it out so I could put it in my car and take it home with me. And I put it in, so I cleaned everything out and I put it in this bucket and I thought, cool, like I'm just gonna put this in my car. I'm gonna go home because I live in Nashville. So it was gonna be 5 hours. I had to get on the road. Mm. And I threw, like the night went by, I woke up the next day to leave and I took that bucket and I threw it in the dumpster and I was like telling goodbye to everybody. And then they were like, hey, real quick, come look at the new logo for the Huntsman. I was like, okay, cool. So I go inside to look at the Huntsman and then 4 dudes in a fire truck come up and they alert us that I had set the dumpster on fire.
Ooh.
And I mean, like, I was like, oh, this is such a hilarious, ironic way to get fired at this company.
Yep.
And,
start a dumpster fire.
Well, and it's also really, really funny. The entire thing is on camera. So for Christmas this year, my boss gave everybody dumpster fire Christmas ornaments. So
I love it.
So
I love it.
Before that happened, my idea was going to be to get a ladder and drop 100-pound anvil on it like it was Wile E. Coyote. But I accidentally almost set our entire warehouse on fire. So I had to
trying to get fired.
Honestly, dude, I don't know what my problem is, but it's a habit, if nothing else.
I gotta watch you.
That's hilarious.
I really gotta watch you. So, question: you mentioned the pork butt. So in your video, I believe you were smoking a pork butt on the Huntsman for the first time for your first cook.
Oh yeah.
Tell us how that went. I know you showed it in the video, but tell us like in real detail, you know, in fun detail how that went. Because I believe you left and then came back.
Oh, not only did I leave, I think I went to a different town that day. Like, so, I mean, legitimately, like, I think it would be so much more entertaining of a video if I actually set my house on fire. But it's so, whenever everything goes as according to plan, as that cook did, it's like, okay, what else can we shoot? It's still cooking perfectly on the grill. Because
right.
if you've never seen the video, I set a pork butt and I leave it. I never open it all day. The venom has 2 meat probes, so it's monitoring everything inside of the grill. I'm never concerned. I've got temp alerts on my phone. It is literally, how do you totally dummy proof grilling? So I lock it in, I set it, I put my wood chunks in, and then I just kind of go about my day. And the joke I make is it's so set it and forget it that you actually have to set a reminder because you will absolutely forget that you have something on the grill because you have nothing to worry about ever. But I set it without opening it and I show the data because the venom graphs the cooks. It never waned more than 5 degrees from the desired cook. It's just a straight line across the graph. And then these like 2 lines of the meat probes just climbing for 8 hours, 10 hours or whatever it was.
Nice. Well, tell you what, Jeremiah, we're going to take a break right quick. We're going to pay some bills and we're going to get back to you here on the other side.
Okay, cool.
We like you to meet Sweet Charlene, the barbecue seasoning created from family bonds that is low in sodium but high in flavor. It doesn't matter if you're a beginner or a seasoned pitmaster. Level up your barbecue game with this dry rub that has amazing taste and great color. Go to EddieWrightBarbecue.com right now and order your choice between the 6-ounce shaker bottle, the 16-ounce bag, or my favorite, the 32-ounce bag, and start rubbing your beef, pork, and poultry the right way.
All right, guys, we are back again. Black Smoke Barbecue Podcast with our special guest, Jeremiah Stricklin from Spider Grills. And we're talking about all things Spider, especially the Huntsman.
Yeah.
So, Jeremiah, let me ask you this. Okay, you got backyard grillers out there that may own kettles. They may own a Spider, the Spider Venom. They may own the Spider 22. Why, in your estimation, do they need the Huntsman?
I think the Huntsman takes every part of grilling and it elevates it at least 1%, no matter what part of grilling you're talking about. So if you're into charcoal grilling, if you're into pellet grilling, this is not the grill for you, for obvious reasons, but, or, gas, whatever. But so I love fuel efficiency. So when I use a kettle, I probably get twice the fuel efficiency. At least that's what I've noticed in my cooks. Like I'll go and I'll open it and expect to need to reload it, and I have half as much charcoal as I set. And I just couldn't imagine, because, the walls are 5 millimeters thick and there's like so much insulation in there. Your charcoal goes a lot longer. It's nice to have like really high premium spider web grates, and, our it weighs like 150 pounds, but because it's got this big swinging hinge on the back, you can lift it and close it with one finger. And all of those things just make the experience so much better. I know that like a Weber kettle has like a hook that you can hook it to the side, but I've never met anyone on earth, and I'm 34. I've met a lot of people. I've never met anyone that doesn't just plop it on the ground. Whatever you know what I mean? So like, I don't trust you as a person if you actually latch it to the side of your grill. I need to see you ruin your yard. But I just think that from the experience of owning a grill, it makes everything feel much more luxurious. And I think it makes your cooks better. So when I did the pork butt video, like the reason why the cook went so well is because the Huntsman is such a great grill that can lock in temperatures, that you can control it with the push of a button. And, every grill is great in its own way. I personally feel like the Huntsman is great in every way. So I am very much, I'm inclined to say that because I own one and because I'm trying to sell a bunch of them. But I think, and I've told my wife this several times, if they fired me for almost burning down the warehouse, I think the first thing I would do is go buy the Huntsman, because I would still want this grill if they took it back from me from burning down the warehouse. So I think it does everything, which is, and whenever we release the accessories, I think you're also going to see that like, oh, I can cook literally anything on this thing.
I like that. I like that a lot. When I first talked to you about this grill, one of the things I had asked was, well, man, is there going to be a cover for it? And you said, man, trust me, you won't need a cover for this thing.
Yeah.
And when I saw what you actually released and what you were doing with it, I was like, now I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. It absolutely doesn't need a cover.
Well, and it's also, it's really interesting what your customers tell you, because we weren't going to do a cover because I don't think you need one. To be perfectly honest, you don't need one, but customers want a cover. So we're making a cover. So whenever I send you, have you told them that you're getting one? I don't think that should I not tell them that?
Well, all the jokes always fly around about how all these grills show up at Barbecue Boulevard anyways.
It's not a surprise, Jeremiah.
Yeah,
okay. Gotta hook up with Santa Claus.
I didn't know. The funny thing about this right quick is that I actually just got a grill that showed up today too.
Oh, I think I saw that. Is that the video you posted?
It was on IG.
Yeah.
It's a open fire cooker.
Yeah, I saw that right before I came on. I can't wait till that's the Huntsman. Sorry that I broke that to you guys. We'll have to figure something out for y'all. I try to share the love. I'm not trying to show favoritism. It's just me and Dogfather go way back. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. Whenever it's the Huntsman, I feel like your Instagram's gonna light up. It's gonna be great.
I can't wait, man. I can't wait. But I am curious about something.
Yeah.
With the release of this and everything. I mean, obviously we know this is the initial release, and there's going to be a lot of stuff to come down the pipe later. Is there any plans, or are there any plans for different colors of the Huntsman?
I love that question so much. So I am going to again, this may be my last podcast as Spider Grills, but I would love, and I have already pitched an idea for an alternative color. And it was like everything else, it's met with, if there is a demand, we will answer for it. Because
Gotcha.
I don't, and this, please don't post this quote out of context. I don't think the customer is always right, but I think the customer is right most of the time. And I think especially when it comes to what they want, because you can't argue with what people want. And
Absolutely.
if you're a company that can give what they want, you should. So if you're listening to this and you're like, man, I wish this thing was neon pink, just tell us. I'm not promising we're going to do it, but I want to give people what they want. That's what our job is as a company.
You know, it's funny you mentioned pink, because I was going to say.
No way.
No, you know, me and my wife is we battled breast cancer.
Yeah.
You know, and she is always like, man, we need a pink grill. We need a pink grill. We need pink gloves. We need pink this, pink that. I think it would be awesome, man, if you did like a breast cancer awareness edition.
Oh, I think that would be
Huntsman.
amazing.
That would be awesome, dude. That would be absolutely awesome, I think.
That would be awesome. And not to put more fire on all the YouTube commenters, pink is literally my favorite color. I have a Fender Stratocaster that is bright pink. It's been my favorite color since I could remember. And I'm always tempted to share my true self to our customers, because I did a reading mean tweets video one time on Instagram.
I saw that, yeah.
And boy, was that only the tip of the iceberg. But no, I love the idea of a pink Huntsman. I think that would be an amazing. For one, I think it would look amazing, and I think that, like, one of the things I love about when people ask me, like, what's the grill that would get me into grilling, I always say the Weber 22-inch Premium, because you can pick your color. And I think that your color, you get to pick the one that is most like your identity and you love it better. So my first Weber 22 was the green one. And I think the green one's great. And I love whenever people post their red ones and their blue ones. And I think that there's something to that. That's why we love our cars and we love the fancy red Corvettes or whatever. It's because it's fun. Grilling is fun. And, if having a pink grill is fun, let's have a pink grill.
Absolutely. I'll say purple. I like purple.
Okay.
Yeah, I could do me a Mace Windu Huntsman, man. I wouldn't be against that.
Oh, come on, dude. Come on. Now we're talking Star Wars, finally.
Exactly.
Here's my Kylo Ren.
my man. Lying around on my desk. But I do have my Stormtrooper watch.
Oh, let's go, man. All right, let's end this podcast and let's start our Star Wars one. You guys can let us go. Me and Brandon got it from here.
And I got my Vader orbit key. Like,
oh my gosh, let's go.
I don't play games, brother.
Let's go,
fellas. I think they're bonding.
I cannot wait. I cannot wait for y'all to see our May the 4th post. It is literally my favorite thing I've ever gotten to make. And it all started because, no, I'm not going to say anything about it. May the 4th is going to be my favorite day of content that we've ever done, just because I love Star Wars.
So stay tuned.
I love Star Wars. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it, man.
So funny.
You were talking about like all the mean tweets and the hate and stuff. I know there's a lot of hate out there for automated grills or accessories. You have this whole cabal of people who are just so traditional, and if you have to manage everything yourself, you have to manage the fire and all that. And I know, like most of y'all know, most of these folks been grilling like 18 months, and they want to tell you that if you're not managing everything yourself, you're not doing it correctly and all that. But do you see a lot of hate for the products that y'all do that actually makes grilling easy? I'm a big proponent for it because I think it gets people into the hobby and into the culture, especially if you've attempted to do this stuff manually. But do y'all see a lot of pushback for what you do?
Yeah, I would say that's two-sided. I would say yes, but it's so much harder to take that seriously when you're tweeting at us from a phone. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, unless you're sending me a carrier pigeon, I'm not hearing it. You know what I mean? Like we
Yep.
are all surrendering to the benefits of technology. If you were tweeting at me, unless you were just shouting at me from a tin cup with a rope at it, like quit wasting my time. But I will say, those people, I think if they tried it, they would change their mind. But it's much more telling to me if you leave a mean comment, because like the one I deleted today was, how many skirts are going to buy this? Which I think is a stupid comment, because like, why wouldn't you want, like, why can't everyone grill? Like who made up the lie that only certain people can do this? But I love the idea that my wife will join me at the grill because she's a way better cook than I am. And why wouldn't she enjoy it? But I think that there is so much more to it than just, oh, I can just like set it and forget it and walk in the other room. It's really fun to learn, like, oh, this is like, it took the meat this long because I have this graph. Like, if you let your technology, like, you and I are talking about Star Wars, like if I could have a lightsaber, I would have a lightsaber. If I could have a grill that could cook and tell me what's going on from an airplane, I would rather have a grill that could do that. And you don't have to use those things. You can use the Huntsman totally unplugged, and it's still better than your grill. Like, you just unplug it, and the draft door in the Venom works just like the bottom vents of a kettle. All of that can be totally unused, and it's still a great grill. But if you could have the benefits of technology, and you might as well, if you're going to just say no to that, you should be over an open fire with a piece of steak on a stick like your ancestors did, because that's what you were doing. That's what they were doing. And I don't understand the argument, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and they would still burn it because they're idiots.
Right.
I can say that.
Yeah,
you don't have to agree to that, Jeremiah. They can come for me. I don't mind it at all.
Okay, cool.
You said you did several cooks so far. Which one is your favorite?
Ooh, God, thank you so much for asking that. I love making steak the most. I love going wide open at 700 degrees and throwing a giant ribeye on the grill, because instead of just your typical, hatch marks, it literally is the web grates in the sear. And I'm telling you, like, when you saw Mace Windu's lightsaber for the first time, that's half as cool as the first time you see that steak with the sear marks. It is just the coolest thing. So I really like making steak, and I really like, me personally, one of the reasons it's so easy for me to ignore all the hate about people making fun of our technologies and making fun of all this, like, cooking is supposed to bring people around a table, and it's supposed to, like, it's one of the few joys we have left, it's just like sharing family and friendship around a table. And that's why my favorite food is pork butt, because it's easy to do and everybody enjoys it. And you just get them around a table, you pull a pork butt, and you just like talk about whatever you did that day. So I have probably made more pork butt than anything I've ever made, even like on every cooking medium. And every time I put a pork butt on, I know it's going to be great. And that's why it's always fun for me.
Nice.
Good deal. Jeremiah, from an engineering and design standpoint, where did you guys start up and where did y'all end? Did you guys have a bunch of changes from your first iteration of what you came out with now as far as what your final product?
Ooh, good question. No, I would say no, and it's going to sound a lot like I had any say-so in any of this, and for the following, for all this information. But the very first Huntsman, so the prototype that we got, is so similar to what we ended up with that you wouldn't probably be able to tell it's any different from like the naked eye. Because I will say what our team is really good at, the brainiac part of our team is really good at, is knowing what they like and knowing what works, because they have a storied history in the field. And I think that they do a really good job of being like, I've watched their brains go to work. They'll be sitting at the table and they'll be like, oh, like, what if because the original Huntsman was going to have a different dome shape. And it was literally like they just started speaking Japanese, and they were like, well, what if it has this size and this and off tooling and all these things. And next thing you know, he clicked a couple of buttons and then the Huntsman was done on a computer screen. It was amazing. And I think it's like their expertise on this very specific thing. Like it blows me away. But Huntsman was the Huntsman from the get-go. And the things that we've changed have been little things to make sure a customer gets it and it's everything they want. But, you know, the concept was there and it's still just as powerful as day one.
Like
Good deal.
say so Jeremiah, I've been seeing, you know, the video clips, you know, you've been posting to social media and some of them are freaking hilarious. You know, so I'm just curious, like where did that thought process come from, and who came up with those concepts to do these types of videos that you're doing? Because absolutely, I love them.
Oh, I appreciate you saying that, man. That means a lot. So I was telling y'all earlier, there's no one other than me doing the videos. Like, it's literally just me being like, oh, wouldn't it be funny if I did this? Like, there are times where I will make a joke and I'll laugh on camera, and it's because that's the first time I've said that. Like, it's literally like the camera is like my friend outside and I'm like having fun and I say a joke that I think would be funny. I crack myself up and I just leave it in the edit. So I will go outside, I'll shoot it, and then I'll go inside and I'll edit it while I'm eating the food that I just cooked. So, and a big part of that, and I think it's probably Joseph, the CEO of our company, I think it's his greatest asset, is he met me and he said, this is your point of view. You have the ability to be funny. You have the ability to be approachable, and you are the person we're targeting. Like, we want to introduce you to grilling. So it makes a lot of sense that you don't really know what you're doing, because we want to show you how fun and how easy it is to use our products. If I can use the grill, anyone can use the grill, which is why I also didn't take offense to it when the early videos, they were like, dude, you can't cook. And I was like, I said that 3 times in the video. So,
Right?
Yeah.
You did.
Welcome to social media.
Yeah, that's it. So I mean, I am the least likely contender to be the head of marketing of a grill company. Like, I literally grew up like acting in plays. I'm bald because I was Daddy Warbucks and Annie, and I never grew my hair back out. And that is legitimately just like, that's just where I come from. And it would be very disingenuous to not be that for the company that I love so much. So whenever I'm making a steak, I want you to be making a steak with me. There is not a proper way to do this. I'm not about to put a suit and be like proper about it. We're just going to have fun. And that's the way that I have fun.
Well, I'll tell you what, man, the camera absolutely loves you. You know,
Thank you for saying that, man.
You are fantastic on camera. And I think that there's something to, being authentic the way you are, and the fact of being able to say, hey man, I don't really know what I'm doing, but I watched a couple of YouTube videos and
Yeah.
because that's what a lot of people are doing that don't know how to do whatever it is. They go to YouTube University to figure it out. You know, and here you are, you just put that on in the ad there for, you know, for the grill and what it can do. And if I could do it, anybody,
Yeah.
love it. Love it.
I can also take a punch. Like, if you're going to watch a video and have something mean to say, you can say it. I'm not really going to care. Like, I look like this, bro. You're not going to hurt my feelings. I've got a whole lifetime of this. But I will say there's a video we have of me using a slow and sear on the Venom. And the Venom and the slow and sear don't really cooperate together. They kind of do the same thing. So you don't have any use for it. But I wanted to prove that you could, and I didn't even Google it correctly. So I did a whole video where I used the slow and sear incorrectly. But I really just wanted to be like, yes, see, it works. Watch this video. That's it. That's all you get. And someone was like, hey, it was really funny. You used it wrong. Like, that was totally incorrect. That wasn't even helpful, but I really appreciate you making the video. And I still haven't taken it down because I still like it. I still think it's fun. So I just, you know, I'm sure someone at Slow and Sear could go in and correct me in the comments if they needed to, but I had fun.
Hey,
No,
we loved it.
I think your honesty and your transparency, I wouldn't change that.
Oh, I appreciate that, Brandon. Thank you.
Seriously, because I mean, for one, the content is great, and like you guys were saying, your lack of skill or experience, or however you want to class it, it's also showing the fact that hey man, you can do this.
Yeah.
And I think so many people put on a front that they're just these amazing pit masters. I've been cooking since I could see over the lid of the pit. And I'm going to tell you what, I look at some technique, something new every day. And I think if you think you know it all, that lets us know that you don't know shit.
That's true, man. That is, man. Now we're preaching. Because I feel the same way, and I think for me, it's like it's so much more. There's so much more freedom in just admitting that you're doing your best, and that's enough.
Yeah.
And like the food tastes better when you don't have to apologize for it, where you're like, hey, this is what I had today. Like this is the best I gave you, instead of just being like, well, it was like windy, so like the charcoal wouldn't do what I wanted it to do. Because no, like that's the best. No,
Right.
they're not having any of it. But it was still like, I think for me, it's like, let's be honest. And I will say, if it wasn't working, we would know by now. But there's obviously an appetite for people being honest about the fact that they don't really know what they're doing, but they're trying their best. Because a lot of our people found us because they're like, oh yeah, you also are like barely grilling correctly. I would love to be a part of this.
Gotta love the authenticity.
Yeah.
But you know what? Even if you did things absolutely 1000% perfect, somebody's going to complain about something.
Oh, of course. But on the
that's just the way it
opposite
goes.
side of that, I was at a party and my wife was talking to somebody. She did not know I was in earshot. And she was like, yeah, my husband is actually a great griller because of where he works. He was awful at the beginning, but he can actually do it now. And
Transparency.
Nothing
Were you
means
fist
more.
popping back there in the
Oh,
room like,
dude.
That's my baby right there.
I made her say it again on the way home.
my man.
I said, hey, can you say it? I just want to make sure I heard you correctly. You said I have the best sear of all time? Is that what you said?
Wait,
Man,
was
your
that
head
in
got big.
upspeak? Or?
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't understand you.
Man, that is completely awesome. That is awesome. Well, look, we are getting near the end of our hour here. And I tell you what I want to do is I went through and I grabbed some questions, that I saw, that were posted through social media, people that saw the video on YouTube or Facebook or wherever they saw it. And I wanted to just grab some of those questions and throw them out to you and let you chomp on them there for a little bit.
Let's go.
So we know right now that the Huntsman is released for pre-order. And I believe the pricing that you have set, you have said that this is probably the lowest that this price is ever going to be. So the question is, for how long will this introductory price be in effect?
Until we start shipping. So our goal, we want to get these out by July. Ideally, we're going to get them out earlier, but we are comfortable saying it's going to be July because we definitely don't want your first impression of the Huntsman to be that it's late. But until the first one goes out the door, you can, that will be the price of it.
Okay, so y'all better get in on it right now. Stop hemming and hawing. Go and get your order in.
Yep.
Get on. What's the website again? Where can they order it?
Spidergrills.com. That's the
There you
only
go.
place you can get it.
Only place. No, you can't get it on Amazon because
Nope.
they're going to ask. So go to spidergrills.com and get that order in if you want to get that introductory price. And forgive me because I don't remember. Did you actually say the price here?
So it's $7.49 is the early bird price, and that is
Okay.
absolutely the lowest it'll ever be.
Okay. And another question that came along with that was, okay, you got the Huntsman coming out here. You got the price, that $7.49. So what is included in that price? Do we get the battery with that, or how does that work?
So you get the Venom is included with that, and the Venom comes with an AC adapter. And if you want, you can get the optional battery. It's $50 in the web store, and then you get the web grates and all that other stuff. And then we will have, so that's for the $7.49 introductory price. And then we're going to have basically a basic accessories kit that will be an optional upgrade in the web store. And then the other stuff we're having a meeting on tomorrow to finalize. So I can't tell you all that stuff yet.
Dang, I thought we got you.
I know you almost got me. But I will say that a lot of the accessories that people are asking for, like a deflector plate, all that stuff, that will obviously be in the web store in the starter kit that we're going to have. But for the $7.49, you get a Huntsman, you get a Venom, and the Venom has an AC adapter that can plug into any outlet that you'll need to get started right away.
And as someone that's used the Spider Venom, I'm going to say it right now, guys. If you're listening and you decide to get the Huntsman, trust me, do yourself a favor and get the battery.
Yeah.
The battery is
changer.
absolutely awesome. I mean, it magnetically attaches right to the bottom of the unit, and you can take that grill anywhere. You don't
Anywhere.
need to go plug it in to anything. That battery will get you through your cook. I promise you. And it works fantastic. So definitely, if you get the Huntsman, do yourself a favor and get that battery. You won't regret it.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%.
All right. So another question. I'm gonna skip that one because you already said this multiple times. We can't talk about the accessories, no matter how much we want to. So one of the questions that was asked is that the height, from ground to cooking grate, and I'm sure you probably saw this.
I did. I literally had to go get a tape measure and measure it
I
up.
saw that. I was like,
Yeah.
do you really need
I'm
to be that specific? Come
I'm
on, man.
committed. Ask me a question. I will give you an honest answer, even if I have to borrow my wife's clothing tape measurer to do it.
So the question was, the ground to cooking grate level height is 31 inches. Some other models that are out there of other cookers are at 32 inches, which is obviously an inch higher. So the question is, are there any designs to maybe have a retro accessories that will raise the grill a little higher for anybody that wants that? Or, is it just 31 is just what you're going to get?
That's a good question. And that is a question that future Jeremiah will be glad he did not say anything. But I will say, like I said earlier, if there's demand, we will meet it. And I do know that is something that we would absolutely have the capability of doing.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Well, let's see here. Another question that came up, and you kind of touched on it a little bit earlier, but if you don't mind, kind of expand on this just a little bit. How does the top and the bottom damper system work on here if you are not using the Venom? If you want to run it traditionally, a kettle, style cook, how do you do that without running the Venom?
Yeah, of course. So let's talk about it with the Venom first. So with the Venom, it's got what we call the draft door, and that's supposed to be closed at all times. And then on the screen of the Venom, it'll tell you where to put your top vents. So if you're doing like steak at 500 degrees, it'll tell you to leave it fully open, so that way the most air can come through. And if you're doing a pork butt, it'll say almost all the way closed, so that way it can conceal all that heat inside the grill. But if you're going manual, the way the Venom works is there is a little hook that hooks onto the sweeper of your Weber and the Huntsman. And the way it works is when you move the sweeper, it moves the draft door with it. And whenever the draft door of the Venom is halfway open, that's actually fully open in the kettle or in the Huntsman. So whenever you pull the draft door halfway open, you're letting all the air in, just like the bottom vents of your Weber kettle. So if you're doing a steak and you're doing an unplug, you want to go fully open on the top vents and you want to go halfway open on the draft door, because it, just like the way the bottom vents of a Weber would be, the more open you open the draft door, the more air you're letting in. So let's say you want to do ribs and you want to have it at 275 or whatever. You wouldn't go all the way, but you would definitely open it more than all the way closed, right? So it's basically the same premise as using the bottom vents of a kettle.
I like that. So, man, I'm going to leave it at that. These are the questions that I thought I'd bring to you, since we're going to have you on live and people get to, listen to you and talk about this whole Huntsman unit and the, as well as the Spider Venom and the Spider 22. Again, as someone that's used, the Venom, man, I have to tell you that I loved it. Wow, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, you have pellet grills out there. They're kind of the set it and forget it. Somebody,
sure.
It does absolutely take away from, you having to maintain a temperature, maintain fire, that type of thing. And it's funny because a buddy of mine was just asking me about, he's like, man, I want to get the Spider 22, and I told him, I said, well, I can't tell you a lot, but hold on. I said, just hold on.
Just wait a second.
Just kind of hold on a little bit. I think there's something's coming up that you might want to check out first. So, but yeah, when I used the Spider Venom, which is again attached to this Huntsman, it worked great. Yeah. I mean, absolutely great. You could set that temperature and it would settle into that temperature, and it was rock solid.
Yeah, it's wild.
I mean, yeah, it's really wild the way that thing works. And you guys did a fantastic job with engineering this product. I can't wait to see this Huntsman with my own eyes.
yeah.
Yeah,
I can't wait.
Every time I cook on it, I can't. Whenever the guy that designed it, he flew. He lives in Seattle, and he flew out. And I said, I feel like I'm meeting Bono. Like, you made my favorite grill. And he works at our company. I've known him a long time, but I'm like, dude, I'm a fan of your work. This rules. And I also agree with you. I think the Venom. I'm a fan of our stuff, just because like I learned how to grill with our stuff. And, you know, the skills are transferable. When I'm at my friend's house and he has a Weber kettle without a Venom, I know what I'm doing because I learned on our stuff. But I definitely think the Huntsman is a new era for us. And I think it has the potential to be a new era for a lot of people. And I think that there's a huge potential for an impact in the grill community, because I personally feel like we're offering a totally new price point for premium grilling, because before you got to go twice as much if you're lucky to get what we're offering up in the Huntsman. So I appreciate you saying that, and I can't wait for everybody to get their hands on one.
Absolutely. I know. I can't wait.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it, man. Jeremiah, completely off topic. You said that you're a music major. Are you familiar with Krungman?
No, what's Krungman?
Krungman is it's a group out of Houston. I don't know quite how to describe their music other than it's just badass.
Okay.
Good stuff.
Yeah, they just released their latest record. I got it, I think 2 days ago. Vinyl showed up. But I believe this is their fourth album.
Can you spell it for me? I feel
yeah.
like I think I know what you're saying, but I want to make sure.
It's help me out here, Geoff. KHRUANGBIN.
Yeah, there's no way I would have spelled that. Look at that nonsense. Wow.
Yes, I guess it's like Thai for airplane, if I'm not mistaken.
They've got the they've got a Leon Bridges record. Is that
They have two. Yeah. They have two with Leon Bridges.
I love Leon Bridges. But I didn't know anything about I guess I never realized that was a whole different artist. Okay, cool.
Get ready for a deep dive, brother.
Okay.
And trust me, if you like music, you will not regret it.
I do, man. And I also think Houston as a whole has great music. Like, is that where you are?
I'm in Austin.
You're in Austin. Oh my gosh, dude. We could talk all day. You guys get out of here. Let me and Brandon hang out.
I'm in Austin too.
Are you in Austin too? Yeah,
Yes,
let's go. Okay,
feel left out.
I'm trying to go to Austin in September. We're gonna rally the troops. We're gonna talk about Star Wars, and we're gonna talk about Austin music in September. Whenever we hang out,
We'll do it.
Yeah, let's do it. But yeah, I love. I'm from Mississippi originally, so I think everywhere is awesome, because like I thought you were a major city if you had a Chipotle, because everywhere I grew up was like super small.
Not just the Walmart to the Chipotle.
No, dude, no, it was literally Chipotle. Like,
Hey, wait, hold on. I'm going to score some extra points here. My daughter works at Chipotle and can bring you whatever you want.
Let's go, baby. Get him on the co-op. But my wife and I moved to Nashville, Tennessee, and I tell her the only place that could get me from Nashville, Tennessee, because I love it here so much, is Austin, Texas. I think that place rules, man. That's a
Come
great.
on, man.
Come on down, man.
Yeah,
We'll get
y'all
it
got to
done.
show me where to. We're gonna wait in those long lines to get Franklin barbecue.
No, we're
and do
not.
all that.
No, we're not.
Where y'all go to? Oh, I love the
We
shame I
got
just got.
spots,
Tell
brother. No.
No.
We're not waiting 4 hours for barbecue. There's too much good barbecue here to wait 4
Yeah.
I
hours.
love it so
Yeah,
much,
man.
man. Okay, well that's
Not
what we'll do.
that-
I'm gonna
hey,
hit y'all up
and-
when we come to Austin.
Frankly, they make fantastic barbecue. I'm not going to say they don't.
No, sure.
I'm just saying, we'll
It's
be
the
right
line.
here.
I totally get it.
Hey, we can kick back and pop a top right here on Barbecue Boulevard, man.
Let's
and jump
go,
in
baby.
the pool and have a
Okay.
good time. So
There it is.
it's
Okay.
all good.
September. I'll see y'all then. It probably
Come
won't be as
on.
hot as it is going to be.
It'll-
No,
Y'all
it'll
about
still
to-
be
plenty
hot.
hot.
I guess it will.
It'll be
Yes,
plenty
it will.
hot. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
It won't be August hot, but it'll still be hot.
It'll still be hot. Okay. All right. Cool. So I got homework. I got cool bands I got to listen to. That sounds great, man. This is a
There
great
you
time.
go.
I really appreciate y'all having me doing this.
We
We should actually
appreciate you.
record one. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I guess we forgot to hit the recorder there,
Yeah,
Jeff.
hanging out. No big deal.
That's awesome. Well, Jeremiah, man, tell everybody where they can find you and Spider Grills on all the socials.
Yeah, so Spider Grills is our website, and that will point you to all the other stuff. It's spider.grills on our Instagram and Facebook. And I think that's what it is. It's some iteration of that, but I think that's what it is. But I would recommend going to our YouTube channel because I think that our products are something that are more enjoyed at longer format. And I'm chatty, so I need more than the 90 seconds that Instagram gives me. So if you want to head to YouTube, I'd love to teach you about our stuff.
Awesome. Charlie, where can they find you on the old interweb social joints?
You can find me everywhere except X. I know Terrence got me back on X for a little bit, but I can't take it. But you can find me everywhere else at CharlieMaverick. And catch me somewhere in the comments on Black Smoke Barbecue on YouTube. Holla.
My man. T from T-Dub Barbecue, our poet laureate. Brother, where can they find you, man?
You can catch me at tdub.bbq on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Threads, and it's National Poetry Month, so you can also catch me at the Brown Sugar Cafe.
That's right, and don't forget to get your signed copy of T's latest book. Paint is not our only paintbrush. It's good stuff, y'all. Y'all want to check that out.
Can you drop that to me? Can you email me that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to forget that. Sorry, that sounds amazing. I just want to have that.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, cool.
And then we got the dog father, Alton, my brother from down the street. Tell him where to find you, man.
Hey, man, you can find me on all social medias except for X. I don't do that as well, but DAWGFATHASBBQ. And Terrence, I did order the book, and it's going to be here on Thursday. Can't wait. Can't wait.
Appreciate you.
All right. And also, Jeremiah let the cat out the bag. We're going to have the Huntsman here on Barbecue Boulevard. And so we will be getting some content onto the YouTube channel as well as on Instagram. So make sure you look out for that.
Yep. Good stuff. And we got our fearless leader, Geoff from Outdoors with Geoff. Brother, where can they find you, man?
You can find me at Outdoors with Geoff. That's GEOFF. If you have problems remembering, just like Jeffrey the Giraffe, on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook.
So listen, now I hear Jeffrey is back. I hear they bringing him back, man. What's the deal?
Oh, yeah.
You got any insight on that?
Oh yeah, man. They're adopting. They've been back in Macy's now for a little while. I don't know if you saw that. And that's a whole other podcast that maybe me and Charlie can talk about one day. But no, they've been back at Macy's and they got through bankruptcy, so we doing big things.
I love to hear it. And of course, y'all, I'm Brandon from BKC Cooks. Y'all can find me everywhere except for the X-Bird joint. I don't do that. But everywhere else you can find me and my luxurious mane at BKC Cooks. And y'all, look, this has been a great pod. Went by too fast. Jeremiah, we have to have you back again sometime, man. We really do appreciate you being on, man.
Y'all, this wasn't work one bit. If y'all want to have me back and we just talk about Star Wars, we can talk about giraffes, whatever y'all want to talk about. I'm all in.
Using sledgehammers.
Let's go.
Man. I got a feeling this is kind of what it's like when you're at work.
Honestly, man, I have a really hard time showing up and taking stuff seriously, but this is me. This is business, Jeremiah. I hope that's okay.
Love it.
This has been amazing, y'all. Thank y'all so much.
Absolutely.
Thank you, brother.
Well, guys, again, this was another episode of Black Smoke Barbecue Podcast, where, again, barbecue is not only the code that we live by, but it's the culture we embody. We want to thank our guest, Jeremiah Stricklin of Spider Grills, for coming and blessing us with his time and his information about the Huntsman. Make sure you guys get on over there to Spider Grills and go check that out. And, hey, on behalf of the rest of the guys, we out. Peace.